I think IDFC First Bank is on our radar post the Q4 earnings. The net interest margin is an all-time high, but the overall earnings are slightly below estimates. V. Vaidyanathan, Managing Director and CEO of IDFC First Bank, is now joining us. Vaidyanathan, good morning. Thanks a lot for joining us. I want to understand how are you generating 6.3% net interest margin? Who do you lend to? This is industry leading. Is there a risk that this money has a risk of not coming back? 6.3% net interest margin. Just explain to me, how's that possible?
So what do you think Bajaj Finance net interest margin is?
Yes, but I'm talking about the banks, Vaidyanathan. I'm comparing to even HDFC Bank or ICICI Bank. They're at 4%, you're at 6%.
No, that's why I asked you. It doesn't matter the bank or NBFC. What do you think net interest margin of Bajaj Finance is, and what is the credit quality looking like?
Bajaj Finance is well over, I think, 10%.
Yeah, so you got the point. So because our net interest margin has actually increased last year, mainly because our cost of funds have come down. If you notice, we dropped our savings account interest rates quite sharply last year, so our cost of funds are down by over 1%, and that has directly translated to net interest margin. That's one important point. And in terms of the segments we're into, I must point out that 38% of our loan book is secured by hard collateral, i.e. by property. And we see the number even inching up towards 40 or 42, 43%. So the third thing is that we are actually very conscious about how we underwrite our credit. It's been honed and practiced over the last maybe a decade. And our guidance for credit loss for the next year, despite that this net interest margin being so healthy, is only 1.5%, which, mind you, is in the league of top tier high quality banks, including like some of the well-known banks that you know. So our quality is really very good. Our net interest margin is high because of maybe lower cost of funds and also our expertise.
Mr. Vaidyanathan, good morning. Your slippages remain quite high in this quarter as well. Slippages are in excess of 1,400 crores. Will there continue to be pressure in the first half of FY23 as well?
No, the slippage was because of one large, let me say, corporate loan that slipped this quarter, but that frankly we provided for 90%. It's the retail chain that went down recently. So barring that, on the rest of the book, the asset quality is pretty good and pretty strong. Let me just say that we track one very important data point called SMA, which you'll be aware of, which is basically pre-NPA, the buckets. So which you call the SMA, which is 0 to 90 days.
Sure.
That portfolio for us is shrinking rapidly. So there's very little left. On that space on corporate side, retail is of course coming down. So really, when that book is low, then our future slippages will be very low.
Sure. You said that this quarter there was a large account that slipped, and because of which the slippages are high. Your annual slippage ratio is elevated as well at about 4.5%. What would the average be in FY23?
During this year, we had 3 accounts, large corporates that slipped. One was the account that about 250 odd crores that slipped this quarter. It was a large retail chain. The second was, the other one you're talking about is, during the year, there was slippage of one a power sector account of about 250 crores. There was another infrastructure account, is a Mumbai toll road account of about 800 crores. So all these things, what had to come has come. It's come into the NPA bucket already. So nothing more to come on this front, going forward in any significant manner. So basically 23, we are guiding for very low credit losses because, as I told you, our SMA bucket is very low. 0 to 90 bucket is pretty low. So we're guiding for, to your specific question, we would say that our NPA on retail, which has already come down from 4% to 2.6%, we are guiding that it will come down to 2%. Our net NPA on retail, which is about 1.9%, has come down to about 1.1%. We are guiding it will come down to below like 0.7 or 0.8%. So you can expect from us that credit should look better.
Mr. Vaidyanathan, hi, good morning. Prashant here. A good set of numbers overall, but just a quick word. The holy grail is essentially the returns you will make on assets, right? Where do you see, how do you see that progressing from here through FY23? That's a number, I'm sure you kind of track closely and investors watch very closely as well. Go on.
Yes, this came from a zero base, so you should see the trajectory more than seeing. So if you track the trajectory about how our profits is climbing, then you can you give a reasonable estimate for the next few years. You will see that this will get fixed very, very quickly. I'll give you a sense. Our loan book in the last year has grown by about 13%, but profits, operating profits, that is pre-provisions, that has risen by 44%. Our own guidance for next year, we believe, will be that for the next 2 years is that this will rise by another 45% on a operating profit. Like currently, last year was 2,700 crores. So you can pencil in another 45% next 2 years. So we believe that's because the model is so strong in terms, operating leverage is kicking in very quickly. So the short answer is that in the next 2 years, you will see a rapid improvement in return on assets. We believe return on equity for this bank can stabilize, can reach about 17-18% over a period of time.
Okay, now, Vaidyanathan, since you started by, asking me, what is Bajaj Finance's NIM, and you wanted to compare with that, I want to ask you, if your performance has been quite good, why does the market give you 1.1 times price to book compared to, your peers?
Yeah, I mean, at the time of merger, it was more like 0.9 to 1. I think it's been more like about 1.3, 1.4 for quite a long time. And people actually wondered, Morgan Stanley always puts out a report that, look, for your return on equity being low, why should we be valued at 1.4 time price to book? More numbers, more like that. Off late, I think for the last maybe 6 or 7 months, ever since there's been merger talk, there is speculation that people are, whenever the results are good, they go and buy IDFC Limited stock and so on. But I think that will play itself out as and when the merger stories play out.
The IDFC stock rallies, but IDFC First Bank does not. That's why.
I get that point. So that's been a generic question by people, as to why there is a swap of trade happening and so on for any performance put out by the bank. But I feel those things will settle itself out as and when the merger discussion comes closer.
All right, Mr. Vaidyanathan, thank you very much for joining us. It's a pleasure, as always, having you here on CNBC TV 18. Look forward to more conversations and, of course, tracking the improvement that you're saying will take place. 17% return on equity over the next 2 years, doable. And, of course, return on assets performance should pick up over the next 2 years. The trajectory is up, according to Mr. Vaidyanathan. Extremely confident. At this point.
Actually, sorry, Prashant.
Go on.
If Mr. Vaidyanathan is still with us, I have one more question. Sorry, Mr. Vaidyanathan, just one more question on fundraising. Do you have any plans in the near term, or do you think that because of the market conditions, perhaps you will defer it for a bit?
We don't need it because we are 16.8% capital adequacy. That's quite strong. There's a lot of headroom for tier 2 also. But, to the summary of Prashant, just want to clarify, I never said that it's 17% in 2 years. I said the bank is structured to reach there.
It can.
But, in a guidance sense, we have actually guided for a 15% return on equity as per our original guidance plan, and we are broadly on plan.
I mean, 15%, of course, is also something which markets will take with both hands. Mr. Vaidyanathan, once again, thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it. All right, I think there's 8 minutes to 7 minutes, 8 minutes on to market open. The pre-open, of course, is settled. Let's just have the Nifty values up on your screen. There is so much to track today with the earnings, of course, coming in thick and fast. 180 points lower. Prakash,